Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Chamber Within. I like the term flow state. I actually like it a lot. It's something I've come to understand through experience. And just recently, I was in the shower where I have some of the best ideas, mind you, and I feel like that happens often. Some ideas I do jot down, and some I forget just as quickly as they came to me by the time that I leave the bathroom. But I was thinking about the idea of creativity and how the seemingly most creative people are so abundant because they do not stop the flow of incoming ideas. That's why they seem so abundant in their creations because they give in to the idea of trying new things, and then they move on to the next and the next. Hence the word flow. So many times in my life, I have had an idea and judged it, criticized it, and said to myself, no, that won't work. That's stupid. It's not worth my time. It's not worth me trying, etc., etc. I stopped the flow. From experience, flow state, as someone who enjoys writing, can sometimes feel like a dictation of thoughts direct to paper or computer screen. So, me receiving and writing or typing as fast as I can to keep up with the incoming stream of thoughts and concepts feels like pulling information from one place and describing it into another place, or in another place, I should say, from ether to physical state. Last July, when I was still new to recording my podcast, I was a bit worried this one weekend because I had no topic in mind. And I actually woke up that Saturday morning just after 9 because my thoughts were interrupting my sleep. I could only think to grab my iPad nearby and write what I felt like was the sound of my voice and follow along sentence by sentence, straight from sleep to waking state. It felt like dictation, like I said. I had about 350 words typed up and then immediately went back to sleep. Like, oh, that's over. That was weird. I'm still tired. So I went to bed. I woke up again and I actually had a clear topic and direction and then easily completed that week's episode. It landed right in my lap, so to speak. And I remember it was last July because I actually documented this occurrence and found the episode. And when I look back now at that episode last July, this was by far my most downloaded episode, interestingly enough. No other topic has done this well. It was entitled The Power of Forgiveness. It's so funny that I look back at that today as I was writing this because I wanted to see, what it was, what came to me, because I feel like I could have done more. I could have um, given a different example. I could have said this or said that. I felt that way, and I still kind of feel that way about that episode. But that's me judging it again, not moving out of the way. I write, so the thought came to me as I wrote it to share it. But if you're a painter, you may be inspired to paint something that will bring others joy. If you cook, you could bring pleasure to other people's palates. If you're a photographer, you may snap the shot that others will see and thus be inspired by it, so on and so forth. Creativity is about exploring, right? Searching, finding, tweaking, and then releasing it, letting it go. Whether you write, dance, sing, sketch, paint, build, and even innovate and create a new expression of being, it's important to trust that the idea may be a little rough at first, but it's worth a try. I know from experience that when we do not create as creative beings in a way that allows us to feel some sense of joy in our life or a sense of release as we let go of it and move on to new things, we become stagnated, frustrated even. It can feel unfulfilling and hopeless even, and then directionless. You never know what can come from your ideas, from just trying them out, just giving them a real shot. When you say to yourself, oh, they're going to laugh at me or judge me, that's you doing it first. So try not to self sabotage. It's very easy to do so. Allow yourself the pleasure of having your idea see the light of day, even if it's just for your eyes only. Following through with an idea is very satisfying, learning how to trust the process. As you give into your creations and begin to express them, you sort of, in a way, train yourself to begin to receive more and then create more. You grow the level of trust that you have with what you're receiving. Receiving, creating, and then releasing, that cycle happens again and again. Just like for those of us who are on the outside of people who write tons of music and have a lot of unreleased songs in their vaults. Like, how? When do you have the time? Where's this coming from? People who create art, it's because they're not blocking it. They're not blocking the flow with judgments that can cripple their growth and cripple the potential satisfaction that they're getting from trusting their process and trusting who they are. They have the satisfaction of saying, yeah, I did it. It was me who did that. I trusted myself to follow through with it. And it's in the past now because I'm on to the next new thing. You can also do that. There have been many things I've started over the years and have failed to finish. So I get it. I get what it feels like to fall short of your own expectations and not have that level of trust with self. Am I good enough? Is this interesting enough for others to care? I mean, I cannot say definitively it's divine impulse, although I'd like to think so. Maybe it's just the mind trying to entertain itself. Maybe we stop being so critical. That's a start. What I do know is that it's a taste of freedom in a way, freedom of expression, an authentic relationship with self. The most important relationship, I would argue. Flow state, receiving mode, can be experienced while showering. It can happen upon waking from slumber, while driving, or just doing what you love and being fully present. One of my many favorite quotes, because I have a lot, I have a long list of favorite quotes, is, if I asked you to list all of the things that you love, how long would it take for you to mention yourself? So I say, or I pose this question: if I asked you to tell me who you are, you would probably tell me your age, gender, ethnicity, where you live, and finally what you did for a living. But hopefully, you wouldn't fail to share the part of you that is able to create something in your life that brings you joy. Do you allow yourself an opportunity to express who you are, even if it's just for you to enjoy your own personal fulfillment? That's fine too, but this is a reminder to love yourself and have that be at the top of your list. Another one of my favorites is an old Instagram or Facebook post. I forgot where I seen it because it has been some time, but it stated, "We are created to create." And I happen to really believe that. So, if something in this episode resonated with you and you feel called to share an experience or ask a question, you can leave me a voice message on speakpipe.com/the Chamber Voice Line. You can also email me at thechamberwithin@yahoo.com. Thank you for listening and have a great week ahead. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.